Do you know what's common between civic sense, manners, thoughtfulness, accountability? We as a society lack all. Outrageous statement, but let me justify myself. Damaging public property, not respecting others' personal space, littering public spaces, not following rules are very basic examples of lack of civic sense. Tell me, which one do you think is problematic? Okay, let's make it little easy. In case you are the one doing it, like jumping red light or cheating in exam or throwing plastic on road or expressing your love for your partner on odd places. Your reaction might be, we have bigger issues to deal with instead of monitoring lovers. But these are proper punishable offenses. But no one seems to care, as it's nothing too much, right? But it might be problematic for you if you are the one who got late because an idiot jumped red light. You didn't got a seat you deserve because someone cheated. You accidentally placed your hand on freshly spitted pan, or you have exam and someone is celebrating at 1 am. Still, if you don't mind, so you aren't the only one. This is our daily routine, so you might be habitual. But it is still a bigger issue than we think. I will tell you some problems, and you pause the video and think what might be the cause of this, and then resume, okay? We always complain about potholes on roads and in how bad condition our roads are, but you know the reason? Is it government? Yeah, obviously government deserves some credit. Some credit goes to corruption. But potholes on but potholes are mostly created by flooding. What cause it? Improper drainage system. But our drainage system is not that improper. It's just that it often gets clogged by garbage we throw irresponsibly here and there, preventing water from flowing properly. This leads to water pooling on roads and damaging them. In an interview, retired GHMC chief engineer said people who live near rainwater channels, I mean simply nalas, treat them as dumping grounds, resulting in clogging, overflow, flooding during heavy rains. So, who is here to blame? We. Do you know what is count of deaths due to potholes? Around 2000 to over 3000 annually. It is still something visible. But do you know just ignoring the traffic rules cause how many deaths? This is the report with number of deaths and its cause. Can you take a look at this? It includes such a basic traffic rules meant for following. Drunk driving, driving on wrong side, jumping red light, use of mobile phone. So it isn't a civic sense issue at this point. It's a life and death matter. I can rant about it whole day, but if you don't own a vehicle and decided to travel by public transport, we all are aware of condition of public transportation. If we keep aside issue of overpopulation, because you can find it as cause of every social problem we have today, still it's very bad. Seats, windows and public spaces are often damaged by passengers only. Overcrowding is a major factor as demand and supply is not in proper balance, but still you can't justify the harassment someone faces using it or the glass broken, seats torn by this factor. It's done by passengers only. So who is responsible for that? We. You can't even drink or eat properly when you are out cause then you don't want to use public restrooms. It's a nightmare. A common attitude in people, if I'm done shitting, then I don't give a shit about the next person. So who is here to blame? Obviously we. I know and I'm fully aware that government and lack of resources are major reasons, but these smaller and everyday issues are often overlooked. We are like always looking for someone to blame, and in this case it is government. But we as citizens play a significant role too. Even with limited resources, our lack of civic sense worsens the situation and affects the quality of public services. It's not just about what government does or doesn't do, it's about how we treat what we already have. I'm not saying you should ignore corruption and stuff, but I believe if we act like shit, so there's no point of demanding better things.
Told you in so many words that please throw it in the dustbin. You say dustbin in a You mind it. This is your business. You're supposed to keep this place clean. Yeah, but
So he proceeded to aggressively grab my face from behind so he could ruin my day with his green, thick, wet hands. Get off me, man!
भैया बैठ जाओ ना ये हो जाएगा यहाँ खड़े होकर लोग खाना खा रहे हो बताओ बे भाई
दिल्ली मेट्रो में आपका स्वागत है।
Let me stop ranting about problems. Now let's talk about causes and solutions. You know the cause? It is extremely normalized for us to be corrupt. Why? Because sometimes it's a necessary evil. If we divide our society in 3 sections, poor, middle class and rich, a daily wage worker will now want to spend days roaming here and there for basic needs, meant for them only. Is not often aware of laws, and if is, then who takes poor seriously, right? You see cases like police don't even register complaints of extremely serious crimes coming from poor people. So why not just bribe, be corrupt? A middle class person wants the best in his capability, and there's so much competition for everything, so just bribe, right? Everyone does it. If I don't do it, someone else will. And for rich, they exploit bypass tax system and other stuff. Why not? It makes things fast. And in poor and middle class section, there aren't only victims. They do exploit others when they get to. Example, rickshawalas charging more to people from different states. Who is doing these? Remember the statement, if I don't do it, someone else will. It's the reality. The corruption in Indian society is a necessary evil, which have eventually become a habit. We don't take rules seriously anymore. Criminals is a big word, still, these are crimes only. So criminals aren't born, they are manufactured. This slow, unsystematic, corrupt system manufactured them. And the result of the system, we all know, lack of trust, poverty, slow development. And this results in rich getting richer and poor getting poorer. To tackle a problem, we need to go to root. So let me tell you something interesting. I was researching, so I got such an interesting thing. I wanted to know what caused the impossible transformation in Indore and made it the cleanest city of India. And I realized people are very same. Don't take me wrong, I'm very proud of that transformation. But you know reason behind it? It was part of a scheme, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan by government. You must have heard it. But it didn't work for my place if you aren't from Indore. So maybe for your place too. But it worked for Indore. Why? First was seriousness coming from bureaucrats, employee satisfaction. Third was implementation at ground level and proper awareness. And fifth, this was the interesting thing, creating a domino effect. The transformation must have started with few people following rules and few more, and now they are habitual and proud. Like extremely bad example, sorry, but it works exactly how people don't break their Snapchat streaks. Exactly the same. If an area is already clean, so no one wants to be the one to throw litter over there first. Someone still, but in the same way, if a place is already dirty, no one minds throwing litter. Remember the statement? If I don't do it, someone else will. If no one is doing, so I shouldn't be doing it. People living there don't have that fear that someone else will, so why should I take the effort of being good? And struggle, like put the litter in my pocket and throw it when I reach home or when I get to dustbin and something like this. So they don't have the fear that someone else will. We humans are designed with sheep mindset. And the last factor I told you is the most important one. Like how amazing is the concept if you want to bring a massive level change.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what?
And it can be used in favor and against too. No one wants to be the only one, you know. Like even if you want to bring a change, so you might get depressed after some time because everyone else might take pride on being similar. like laugh on you saying, I easily bypass these long lines. Don't be dramatic, just throw it. Have you heard statements like these? So let me flip and switch sides. It is the responsibility of government to make use of this interesting concept. And let's come to real life. How many people will you educate individually to know the civic sense? And can you educate a 30-year-old? Don't take me wrong. A person who lived 30 years that way, it's difficult to change the way of thinking, right? There are people who will want to learn, but not all. Can you try teaching something to your parents, typical Indian parents? So educating people unsystematically won't help. After some time, they will get depressed and join the herd again. So if we want to bring change, so either we will have to start from very smaller levels or bigger levels. Let me explain what I meant. First, bigger level. Without bigger level systematic change, it's quite difficult. Let me give you an example. I'm part of a volunteer group which volunteers obviously. So we had to clean campus. So everyone started roaming like headless chickens and managed to collect some waste. And then we clicked pictures and then burned it. Burned the plastic waste. First, we were obviously there for pictures. Even if we wanted to properly dispose of plastic waste, there aren't even dustbins specifically for plastic waste or any recycling factory. At least I'm not aware. So even if we want to change or want to bring change, there is nothing, not even a separate dustbin. So without proper massive efforts from government, it is difficult. If we even want to, how to start, where to start? As a normal citizen, you can't. There is already so much with our lives, right? So we just choose to be corrupt. I used to think why there aren't any proper things, but there are proper policies for everyone, or at least most of the issues we have today, but there isn't enforcement. So to bring a literal change, government will have to provide resources and educate at least a big chunk of population properly and create a domino effect. And it's tried and tested. And when I said smaller, I mean schools. We need to teach our upcoming generation that cleaning is not a job yet responsibility. Public property doesn't belong solely to their father, so they don't have right to damage it. People can come in multiple shapes, sizes and color, and we should respect that. And the most important one, rules are meant for following. I already told it's not entirely possible to change mindset of a grown person. But we should surely shape mindset of our upcoming generation, starting with common issues like litter, how to behave, how to treat women, to complex issues like what it truly means to be patriotic. And if we truly become successful in doing that, removing the lack of civic sense from our upcoming generation, so it will be cakewalk. The smaller and bigger level changes I told you are systematic changes. If you are a teacher or in a position from where you can bring these kind of changes, so please, or if you have a group, so if your group start following rules or behaving properly, so many other people might start doing the same. If not, so even if you are the only one, so don't be depressed and join that herd, Be different. Nowadays, being different is also kind of cool. Try to respect public spaces, someone's private space, follow rules, and maybe try to teach the same thing to someone else too. There are hundreds of issues which come back to a lack of civic sense. So try. This was from my side. I hope you will contribute something from yours too. That's all.